Callista Cannon considered for Wolf and Bang.
Yeah, lane priority on both sides, double ranged on both sides, even though SKT were heavily criticized for going too much into the Zyras and other laning focused supports, want to have some priority in the lane. As you say, almost certainly going to be Jarvan jungle. Peanut hasn't been playing Cho'Gath jungle recently, and Cho'Gath does well against Maokai. Last pick for KT is the jungler, so they flex the Maokai into top lane. They will be going with the Rek'Sai. Very standard power draft from KT with insanely powerful lanes for Score to gank. I feel like Score is the big winner here because the reliability in terms of lanes to gank is off the charts.
Yeah, the thing that I find really interesting though, Papa Smithy, is that Score decided not to go with his Gragas that has been so incredibly good, can also gank extraordinarily well in the early game, and we've seen what Score can do with Gragas if they make it to that late game. Looks like KT really want to put the pressure on early and keep it on against SKT here in game number 1. And KT have been good at game 1, so you could understand that this is where they're putting the eggs. But just foregoing Score's Gragas feels like they must have another plan here on the side of KT.
Just feels like it's a bit more insurance. You want to beat them early, having the extra information to know they're not going to body slam in and be turned by the flag and drag as early as level 2.
Yeah.
It's extra insurance for Score. Pathing jungler sometimes used, ironically, is the correct way to look at Score, who's pathing. Put Cuz to shame in that Longzhu series just a couple of days ago. But this is KT's moment. This is their destiny. Can they be the team? The first to go to Worlds, the first to book their spot in the Grand Final. SKT have been better recently, but today they play KT.
Yeah, but today we've got Huni on his Cho'Gath. We've got so many hype matchups across the rift here for game 1 of the Telecom. 2 victories. Score hanging out here, but Peanut well and truly ready as Pawn jumps his way forward. Not going to find the shove as Score's going to tunnel forward, and that's going to be Peanut's opportunity to get himself in. Flash comes out as Pawn down to 200 health. And SKT, good follow-up. Faker, not a lot of mana. We'll level up and get some back.
Stuff from Peanut. He was in position early for the counter gank, not moving to allow the teleport is very difficult to pull off reliably compared to Maokai, who's got the point and click.
Yeah. The thing that I'm looking at, Papa Smithy, is the Plants duo. Is actually got Faker going aggressive against Pawn. These Twin Fangs should be able to find it. Heal comes out. There's the flash. Threaded volley, but it's blocked by the minions. A Score turns up and no kill there in the mid lane. But these guys are out for blood.
Gotta love when they go super aggressive very early. Score's here to help them push out the lane. Peanut there for coverage. Maybe that's a preview of a Titanic 1v1 we'll have later in the series. First blood weak mid-games. The early game is their playground.
Well, there's the ultimate actually out as the Stranglethorns come in as well. Bang has to flash, and that's going to be first blood going down as Death falls immediately. It's going to be Score answering back as we've got the mid laners battling once again, but that's going to be the Petrifying Gaze, and Faker gets the 1v1 kill somehow. It's in fact going to be Bang picking up an assist with a Sentinel. There's Peanut, he's going to take some damage, jump himself over, and SKT off to a phenomenal start and will augment it with a Mountain Drake.
Yeah, SKT's wards around mid lane even allowed Faker to catch Pawn unawares and pick up a bonus kill elsewhere. No ability for Maokai to get in. Huni's so happy to continue laning against a Maokai with no threat of the teleport. Very easy turn onto the Mountain Drake, and hell, that Baron secure we talked about just got better.
Oh yeah.
We're going to see the replay coming through here, and KT are not 100% in sync, not able to knock up further through the ultimate there from the Zyra, as we see on the other side. Faker, it was just a face check coming through from Pawn, who didn't have any vision in the area, so was disrespectful in how he approached coming bot lane with no flash up as well.
He's holding onto that Weaver's Wall to try and utilize it to cut
the engaged support apart from the Alistar and the Thresh. Instead, they go into SKT's wheelhouse. What they've played the most has been these double range comps, and this time they've had the coverage from the Jarvan. Be good about the decision making. Here's the engage.
Yeah, Depp trying to stay alive, but he's down to about 300 health. Good knockup comes in as Peanut's going low, but Huni wants to find this AD carry. Wolf is going to get eaten, is now once again in the mid lane. Things going wrong. Pawn has to get himself underneath this turret. In the end, it's a 1-for-1 as the top laners get involved as well, and Smab looking to try and continue the pressure. Can KT get some damage on this turret some more?
But even though it was a 1-for-1, Atlas, again, you pick out the right thing to talk about. In the mid lane, Faker with no summoners forced out both from Pawn and the recall. So Faker's advantages into Pawn already outlined how powerful SKT are at killing the Baron without even a Mountain Drake to talk about.
Yeah, it is going to be KT actually starting this one up. Marta pulling that one out of the pit by the looks, but KT not hyper-convinced that taking this dragon down is a good idea.
Top laners didn't have teleport. That's why they were able to start it, because Cho'Gath won't be here just yet.
Yeah, pinging the fact that he's not towards the top side is Peanut taking a lot of damage, actually, from those plants.
Weaver's Wall could cut them off here. Pawn hasn't used it yet.
Yeah, he's going to throw it out now just to break off this fight, and it's going to be 3 members. Oh my god, Bang going so far away from this
Peanut
fight.
got the Mountain Drake.
Trying to do what he can. Yeah, Peanut's going to be able to get that steal, but Def, he takes down Peanut. Now SKT, they are closing in on the tanks of KT already. A delicious tree was devoured by Huni, and Score looking to try and flash his way out, but the Ren should be enough to do it if he can make it there. I thought that was going to be a headbutt by the Rift Herald, but no, he's just going to take down the turret, and SKT, multiple objectives after KT didn't find the smite.
And even though KT were first to rotate, you could see SKT had a very early plan of how they wanted to answer KT's force onto the Mountain Drake. That part doesn't even matter because SKT were able to take it. We'll see the replay here. Score's smites have been a bit off recently, and once again, slightly too early means that Jarvan claims it. Then he's just able to occupy Deft and Pawn for time, and all-important time early into the fight. That allowed SKT so much more access to the bot side, and then Faker, flash, petrifying gaze, doesn't find any members, but does zone people out of the choke. That's why the kills on the backside were so easy, and because there was the early channel of the Rift Herald, they get the mid lane turret as well.
Yeah, the bleeding when it comes to these towers, no inners to fall down just yet. But it feels like the calm before the storm once again, much like the first few minutes in the studio, and now the Fate's Call comes in. Oh, really good chance of corruption, stops the further engage, but that's going to be Peanut finding his way around the side. Def surviving for a long time. There's the Weaver's Wall. Eventually, he gets eaten as Wolf is the one cut off. But that Weaver's Wall could have been in a better spot because SKT all get out. And KT, no option to find an advantage as there's the flash. Okay, Huni not finding anyone.
Teleport had to be cancelled from Mount. Even Gargo's Stone Plate being acted. Huni looks like he's moving slowly because he's got such a large model on this Cho'Gath. And now KT's comp doesn't really do anything, Atlas. They can clear waves, they can delay the game, but SKT can dive. SKT have insane Baron secure.
Over his opponent as there's Pawn in a little bit of trouble, but does still have the Banshee's Veil. There's the engage from Peanut as Def, all on his own. No options to get out of anywhere, but Faker is going to fall down immediately. Pawn now looking for the DPS as finally SKT get themselves back into the fight. Score in trouble as the Ren gets pulled out. No resets to come in, but here are the kills for SKT. 3 already dead, Smeb and Marta running for their lives. There's a twisted advance. The knock-up, though, comes in from the Rupture, and it's all too easy. SKT, they've got the AD carry alive, and they'll break open the base right here. No Baron necessary.
Actually, a badly botched fight by Faker in particular. This kind of died in no man's land. But Huni, wait till you see the replay and see how much feast damage he put onto Pawn. Bursted him for over 1,000 true damage as far as my eye could see. And SKT, doesn't matter if they don't have Faker, they're going to win the game.
Yeah, they are. They're going to take down the Nexus turret. Second one falls, and First Blood in this telecom war does go to SKT. Some would say predictably, but if you missed the most recent weeks, most certainly not predictably here, but it is a best-of-3 series. KT now to move to the other side of the rift, and we'll see whether we're going to get to 3 once again, Papa Smithy, because I certainly hope we do.
SKT fans will say business as usual, but they didn't know before this series started whether that would be the case. With their struggles recently and who they beat last week, we had no idea what to expect when it was SKT against our champions-elect, our first-place team as of writing in KT Rolster. But SKT played ordered, as you say, drafted smartly. There were still ways KT could win, but the moment that KT looked anemic at trying to take out a turret, you could see they would never actually get return visits to those turrets. SKT got the turret lead, they had the massive Cho'Gath, and they won the game.
Yeah, putting the priority where they knew they needed to. So let's have a look at this Cho'Gath.
Faker is caught out alone, and he has a lot of the gold here, but watch Huni and watch how much true damage he takes to Pawn. Pops the stone plate and eats him. He does almost his full health bar.
That was a Rupture and a Feast, and he was dead.
Yes. He died with both summoners up because that's not the sort of calculation you make as a carry.
Yeah. Don't necessarily think that that tank is going to literally 100 to 0 you. So that certainly happened. Huni was a complete monster. I would be surprised if we saw Cho'Gath again.
And Katie Rolster is on the blue side, remember, for Game 2. More flexibility to ban away something like the Cho'Gath. But we don't even know if Huni's playing Game 2, Atlas.
That is a very good point, but I probably wouldn't sub him out after that incredibly dominating performance, Papa Smithy. Still a potential 2 more games unless SKT can turn things all the way around, get themselves to 6 game victories in a row, which is the perfect setup to get themselves towards that gauntlet run that they could get to. Of course, even another match this week as well, so they could be on 8-0. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go towards that short break, but when we get back, the telecom war will resume.